Okay. First, I have to do this also. Thank you, Torah Anytime. Thank you, Chazaq. But I really need to thank mostly Rav Pinchas Weinberger Shlita from the yeshiva that I'm here, Nishmas. And you just got to be careful with the Mechayan noise. But I want to tell you that I knew when this yeshiva started many years ago. And I'll be very honest with you, my son was supposed to come here, correct? He was supposed to come to the yeshiva. I remember when it was on what was that, Broadway over there? Anyway, you know what, it was very small and it was different. And I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit concerned to send him in the beginning, all the way in the beginning. And I want to tell you that it's incredible how far the yeshiva has come. Really incredible. I'm not trying to, be nice. I'm telling you the emes. From every year that I'm here, I've been here, I think it's the third time I've been here, and the difference every year is really, really incredible. And it's almost like a yeshiva, and that's amazing. A regular Hashira, good yeshiva of guys who are growing and guys who are learning. And I'll be honest, I'm a very big chassid of your Rosh Yeshiva, Pinchas Weinberger Shlita, only because I was a very big chassid of his father. I still am a chassid of his father. Whenever my wife has a shaila, first thing, David Weinberger Shlita. Whenever there's a shalom bias issue in my house, David Weinberger Shlita. Whenever there's something, we call him. So I will tell you that Rabbi Pinchas Weinberger, Baruch Hashem, grew up in a very special home, and I don't need to tell you from the yichus that he has from Rav Scheinberger, from Nissen Alpert, from down and from his own parents, and so it's a very special honor to be here. That's the M. It's a very, very special honor to be here. But most importantly, I want to tell you that I actually came here, and I said this before we were live even, I actually came here even though knowing I have to give a chabura somewhere else, but I felt I owed an achrayas, I owed a hakaras atayv to Rav Pinchas, so I'm here today. So the one benefit I actually think, if I have a benefit, if I have one, is I'm not the biggest Talmid Chacham in the world. I am not. And I don't try to fool myself. I am, and I don't try to fool other people that I am. So I don't have to fool them. They'll see right away. But the truth of the matter is I take pride in one very important thing, and I take pride in actually living my Yiddishkeit, living my religion, living Judaism. And I take pride in that I work on it. I didn't say I'm where I want to be, but the fact that I'm working on it is a very big thing for me. So I want to start off with a story, and it's very interesting because somebody said to me something today here, and he mentioned a name, and it's funny because the story I'm about to say is, he's not going to know who I'm talking about, but it has something to do with a family member that he knows, or close somebody, a relative of his, and it's just like almost min hashamayim because I'm about to say a story, and the story has to do with a relative of this guy. He might not even know it's his relative. But I'm almost sure it's his relative because I think I know the family dynamics. Anyway, the story goes like this. 6-7 years ago, I was driving, maybe 8 years ago, I was driving in upstate New York. I was driving in Fallsburg. I was coming back from Stop and Shop. I think it's called ShopRite. Coming back from ShopRite. And I was in a bungalow colony at the time, which I was there for 25 years, a place called Irvington Estates. I was a Rebbe there. I ran the day camp over there. And I loved it. I always would come every summer. I would look forward to spending my 2 months upstate away from, I didn't even take my mail from the city. Things were shut off, electricity and whatever, because I just wanted to just be completely not negaya that I was even in New York, where I lived. And I'm driving from ShopRite, and I see a boy walking in, there was no sidewalks there. And I see a boy walking in the street. Now this boy had a ponytail. He had a nose ring. He had tattoos, and he wasn't wearing a yarmulke. And he was walking, and I wasn't sure if he was Jewish or not. That's the truth. I was not sure if he was Jewish. He didn't look Jewish, but that doesn't mean anything. And I just, sometimes I'll pick up people that are hitchhiking, and most of the times I won't, and I'll give an excuse that I can't pick up everybody that's hitchhiking, because everyone is walking around trying to get a lift, especially people that don't have cars. And there are people that, a lot of Hasidim, they live in Williamsburg, they don't have cars, they don't need cars. So I can't pick up everybody I meet. So sometimes I'm in the mood to pick up, sometimes I'm not. Right or wrong is not the issue. So I see this boy, and I said, you know what, let me take a gamble, let me pick him up. He looks like he's on the side of the road, and I'm going that direction. There's really no other direction to go. I'll pick him up. Pick him up, he gets into the car. I said, where you going? He goes, to Kai Misha Bowling Alley. I said, you're Jewish? He goes, yeah. I said, okay. Now, sometimes I'm in the mood to get into conversation. Sometimes, what's the point? But I always like to hear a good story, maybe a good chizuk. Maybe I can give him chizuk, Jewish kid, right? So I asked him what his name is. He tells me his name. And then I asked him, I said, where are you from? He goes, I'm from Far Rockaway. So I said, I'm from Far Rockaway. And then when he told me the name, I started saying, 1 second, is your father still in the kollel by Rabbi Rand? So he goes, yeah, my father's by Rabbi Rand. So I don't need to figure out what probably goes on in the house over there, or what went on in the house, the machlokes, the fighting. His father's still a kollel guy, and this guy's walking around with earrings and nose rings and whatever it is that he's wearing over there. I'm sure it wasn't just like smooth sailing in the house. So I said to him, can I tell you something? And he says to me, I said to him, I'm not going to give you mussar. I said, you know what mussar means? He goes, yeah. Because he said, yeah, he goes, yeah, I heard enough of it. So I said, I'm not going to give you mussar. But can I tell you something that I think you might actually be happy? Then I might tell you this. I think you're going to be happy. So he tells me, go for it. So I realized I only had 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 minutes till I get to his destination. So I said to him, I want to ask you something. I said to him, if there's a man walking with his son in the street, and he thinks a car is coming at 100 miles an hour at them, he sees the son doesn't see it, but he sees it. And he can only get one of either him or his son out of the way before the car hits. A normal father will probably, I hope, push his son out of the way without even thinking, probably, because it's a parental reaction of I care about my son. It's almost like ingrained that you're going to push your son out of the way. I said, is that true? He goes, yes. So I said, let me ask you a different question. If this the same man is walking with his son, but the problem is this man is delusional. There is no car coming at 100 miles an hour. And he's walking with his son, but the father thinks that there is a car. He's delusional, and he thinks he sees a car coming, and there is no car coming at them at 100 miles an hour. Will he still push his son out of the way? The answer is yes, because in his mind, there is a car coming at 100 miles an hour. So he will push his son, hopefully, out of the way first. So I said to him like this. I said, I want to tell you something. I'm not here to tell you Judaism is real. I'm not here to prove Yiddishkeit to you. I'm not here, because I told you I'm here to help you. I'm not here to give you mussar, I told him. But I said to him, I want to explain something to you. If your father is delusional, let's just say that, and he believes in a religion that's not real. Let's just say that's your opinion, okay? I'm not here to battle with him about Yiddishkeit now. He believes in something called Shabbos. He believes in something called kosher. He believes in something called tzitzis, whatever it is, not Negeya. He believes in this stuff. And he believes in something called Gan Eden and Gehenim, right? So a normal father will try to get his son to do these things because he believes in it. He believes in the consequences if you don't do it. So it's not about loving or hating or trying to get him or not trying to get him. A normal father that believes in Olam Haba, that believes in Gan Eden and Gehenim, believes in Shabbos and kosher, and he sees his son not doing it, a normal father, there's different ways of how to approach it, there's different ways of how to say it, but a normal father is going to try to make sure his kid gets the best in life. So I said to him like this. I said, I'm not telling you should listen to your father. I'm not telling you to listen to him. I said, I'm sure it's not easy in your house. He goes, yes, it's not easy in my house. So I said, I just want to make you a happier person, I told him. I said, how? When your father tells you these things, I'm not telling you should listen. I can't tell you not to listen. It's Torah. How can I tell him not to listen, right? I said, but understand that it's not coming from a bad place. It's not coming from a bad place, I told him. I said, go into your room, close the door. I'm not telling you to laugh, but just for your sake, what's the point of getting into an argument with him or fight with him back? He doesn't see your point, you don't see his point, but know at least it's coming from a good place. That's what he believes. So a normal father is going to tell you, he thinks his son is about to get hit by a car, he's going to intervene. He gets out of the car. I said, was it okay what I told you? He goes, 100% it was okay. No problem. He gets out of the car. A month later, Rosh Hashanah was actually earlier that year. I think it was like September 7th. I think I met him August 7th, and this happened on September 7th or 8th. And I'm standing outside. I live by Beach 9th Street, by the beach over there, by those 10 houses, by Seagert. And I'm standing outside talking to a chavra of mine, and it was Tashlach. It was Tashlach time. And by my house, Tashlach, everyone it was a nice day, everyone was coming to Tashlach. Thousands of people. Hasidim, Litvisha, this one, that, people with dogs and cats and ferrets. Everybody's going to Tashlach with their animals, whatever they're doing. It was like Mamash Yitzias Mitzrayim. That's what it looked like. They're all going to Tashlach. And I'm standing there talking to somebody, and I hear a voice. Somebody calls to me from across the street. He goes, Rabbi Walkin. He was standing with another boy with a dog. They come across the street, and he tells me, Rabbi, do you recognize me? I go, no. And now he wasn't wearing a ponytail. He wasn't wearing a nose ring. He wasn't wearing an earring. I did see some tattoos coming out of his shirt. He was wearing a white shirt, actually. It's funny. And the buttons were open. And he tells me, you don't remember me? I go, no. He goes, you were the person that gave me the lift a month ago. So I said, wow. I said, I don't know. I said, I'm not taking credit for what happened to him. I'll tell you that right now. But he tells me, he says, I want to tell you something, Rabbi. He says to me, when you picked me up and you spoke to me, from the moment I got out of your car till today, Rosh Hashanah, I did not have one argument with my father because of what you told me. This is what he tells me. So I said to him, that's incredible. I said, how does that feel? He goes, I'll be very honest with you. Feels amazing. I said, my relationship with my father got better. My relationship with Hashem got better because my relationship with my father got better. And I didn't want to take any credit for this. That's not what this is about, because I'm sure he had a journey in that month. But I said to him, I said, it feels good? He goes, yes. So the lesson that I learned was so valuable, and the valuable lesson that I learned was, I want to explain something to you. I'm not telling you you're on the kid's level. I'm not telling your father is on the other level. I need you to understand something about Yiddishkeit and about Judaism. Rabbeim, parents, no Rebbe walks into yeshiva. I don't care what you tell me. No teacher walks into a classroom with the mindset of chas v'shalom hurting another kid emotionally. Nobody starts off like that. Could be a lot of things happen in between where a Rebbe already looks at a kid a certain way, or a teacher already has a pre-notation of what this kid is all about, and he might even pick on the kid sometimes when the kid is not at fault. But if the kid's at fault 99% of the time, then it's normal for a teacher to say, oh, here he's doing this again. So my point is that Rabbeim, when they come to yeshiva, even if they give you musar, even if they send you home for a week, even if nobody wants to send a kid home. Nobody, believe me, I promise you, every kid that would behave in a classroom, I'm telling you now, I guarantee you that eventually the Rebbe is going to start leaving you alone. If you don't have a reputation, for sure he's not even going to start up with you. If you do, and I'll tell you, I was dealing with a bunch of kids. I was dealing with a bunch of kids this year, and a particular kid actually, that you might know, and we had a conversation, and the conversation was really a basic ABC kind of conversation, which is, if the yeshiva doesn't want you to do something, and you want to be in that yeshiva, like in a business, if somebody has a business, and the person in the business wants to run the business a certain way, but you don't agree with the way he wants to run the business, so you have two options. Either you'll get fired eventually, or go to another job. But you can't just do whatever you want if the owner of the business is running it a certain way. So if the business doesn't want you to do something and you want to be here, you have to, whether you agree or not, you have to follow directions. So it's very important in any yeshiva you go to. In any yeshiva you go to, it's very important to realize that yeshivas are there for you. And I want to tell you that this is amazing what's going on here. It's really amazing what's going on, and I'm very impressed. And it looks like you guys are most of you, I don't know, all of you, but you could see are absorbing, I don't know if it's the love of the Rabbeim, I'm sure it's that, love of Torah, the love of learning, whatever it is, you're understanding that people are here for you. People are here for you. And this goes on for any yeshiva, on any level, at any age. When you understand that authority figures, Rabbeim, teachers, parents, even elder brothers and sisters, I mean, I'm not going to put them in the same boat because they might have ulterior motives. But any parent, if you're behaving and you're doing what you should be doing, pretty much are going to treat you a certain way. And Rabbeim are the same thing. I'm sure if you're learning stark or you're following the rules of a yeshiva and you're doing what you should be doing, I am sure you will not be getting into trouble with them on Hula. I can almost guarantee that, okay? There's nobody that wakes up in the morning, like I said, a Rebbe that says, I want to make my kids miserable, I want to make myself miserable, I want to yell, I want to scream, I want to get kids in trouble. I just think it's a very important concept in life. And the most important thing I want to tell you is that you're here for your benefit. If people don't hop that, a Rebbe or a teacher is there to give you guidance, is there to help you in your future, is there to actually make sure that one day you leave here, or wherever it is, wherever you are, and have a future for yourself. So not every Rebbe is the same. I won't say that. Not every teacher is the same. Not every parent is the same. But the same goal is to give you what you need to move on in life. And I think it's very, very important that you understand this concept, and regarding learning especially. Okay, now, that's the story with that. I want to tell you a very nice mashal I saw. There was once a man that was walking in a park. And he saw a bunch of leaves that were flying around, and the wind was blowing them around. Now it's not a true story, because he started talking to the leaves. Now, maybe for you it may be normal, but it's not, it's a mashal, okay? And he asked the leaves, why are you all excited? Why are you all jumping? Why are you all excited? So the leaves said, Don't you understand? We were once trapped and stuck on that old rickety tree over there. And they pointed to a tree, or their stem pointed to a tree. We were once stuck to that tree. And now we finally got detached, and we're able to go wherever we want to go. We can go, we're free to go where we want. That's why we're excited, we're able to see the world, we're able to fly wherever we want now. Okay. A few days later, he comes back to the same park, he looks on the floor, and he sees that all the leaves are brown and they're lifeless, they're dead. But there was a few of them that still had some green color to them, which means they still had some life to them. So we asked one of the green leaves, he said, what happened to all that excitement and all that wow, and all of a sudden now you're all dead over here? So the green leaf said, you don't understand. We thought that while we were attached to this tree, we're inhibited, we can't do what we want, we're forced to do things, we have to stay on this tree, we're not interested, it's an old rickety tree, it's not even beautiful anymore in their eyes. Now we realize that the only nutrition and the only life that we have is when we're attached to this tree. When we're attached to this tree, we have sustenance, we're alive. Once we get detached, you think you're free, we thought so, and we're not. We ended up dying within a few days. The Torah teaches us, Eitz Chayim Hila Machazikim Bo. And he explains to you, people think that Torah is old-fashioned. Some people think that way, sadly. Oh, the Torah doesn't understand today's society. The Torah is an old rickety tree. It doesn't understand the pleasures. It's never been out there. It's only sitting on shelves. And the Rabbeim that study it only know what's on that shelf. But you have to understand, Eitz Chaim Hi, it's the tree of life and the tree that gives you sustenance. And those that are machzikim bo, those that still attach themselves will always get the sustenance they need. And those that are not attached to it will not get that sustenance. So we need to understand the value of what it means, what they call the old rickety tree, or the old school, or the old way of doing things. And I'm sure nobody here has that issue, but you got to trust the process. You got to trust the process. You know, I started learning with a bacher. I'm not going to mention his name, obviously, but I started learning with a bacher. I think it was maybe in September, August. He went to yeshiva in Eretzville in August. This guy, if I tell you, was trouble. It was insane how much I've never met, and I've met some very interesting kids in my life. This guy had such anger issues, it was insane. He actually would walk around with BB guns and knives, and he would slash tires if somebody actually drove next to his father's car and parked it and whatever, he would just slash the tires, straight up slash them. So this guy was completely out of control. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do to help this guy? Now his parents called me up and said, Rabbi, you're close with the family, can you help my son? So, and I did this for free. I'm going to be honest, I did not ask for any money, and I never do. It's a known thing. I will never, ever. You even wanted to pay me once when I came here. I said, Chas v'sholem, Chas v'sholem. There's nothing in it, I got it. Anyway, so that's why you offered it, I got it. Anyway, but I will tell you that, I'm telling you now, I will learn with anyone. I will spend, if any of you really want to learn, you call me up and say, Rabbi, do you have time tonight? I'll find time, because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about me giving what I believe Hashem wants me to do. And I owe Hashem my life. And I, Baruch Hashem, if I have a gift or a knowledge and I can share it, that's what you do to somebody that you care about. So I started learning with this guy, and the change that I've seen in him. And I will tell you this, I learned with him from 3 in the morning, every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not obviously Friday, Shabbos. I learned him at 3 in the morning till 5, because he's in Eretz Yisrael and I'm in America. And I go to sleep at around 2. So I sleep for an hour from 2 to 3. And I don't even sleep in my room. I sleep in a different room because I'm learning. I'm talking to him on the phone, and my whole family's sleeping. So I even sleep with the light on, so I should make sure I get up from 2 to 3. And then from 5 o'clock already, I might try to fall asleep for an hour, but then I got to take my son at 6, 7 o'clock to yeshiva. It depends on the day. So I sleep 3 hours a day. And that's the truth. That's the most. And I'm pretty hyper, if you notice. I am hyper because I live. And yes, you can get, adrenaline. A person has adrenaline when he's going on a big trip the day before. If you look at life like it's a big trip, and you could able to, the people, I remember when I was in yeshiva, we would go to sleep sometime when I was learning. I would go to sleep when I was in the mood, I was in the zone. I would go to sleep at 2, 3 in the morning, and everyone here that's ever been in yeshiva could attest, and get up 6, 7 o'clock. I would get up shachar. So 6, 7 o'clock. So I would sleep maybe 4 hours at night, but the excitement of the learning and the Torah that you learned, really you enjoy something, you'll stay up. If you have the passion, you'll stay up. So this kid really, really did, changed my life around. He really did. And I want to tell you, I've been doing kiruv for, 30-something years. I was a Rebbe for 20-something years. And I will tell you that I almost feel, literally like when I was back in the days of yeshiva, from this boy. From this boy has given me such chizuk. And that's what keeps me motivated to keep learning with him, because I benefit as much as he benefits from me to a certain degree. And the one thing that I benefited is to work on myself, and this is very important, is to really believe Hashem exists. And it's not simple. It's not a simple thing. I want to tell you something. Shlomo Volba, now normally I make jokes, and that's what he thought. He even said to me, just shut the thing off. But you know what? There's time for jokes, but there's times also to understand, because I think you might benefit more from a depth of understanding something. I'm going to start with this, actually. What time do we have, by the way? You can be honest, 5, 10 minutes? Yeah. Okay. I want to tell you something fascinating. You're never going to hear this from a rabbi, probably, and they probably don't even, a lot of them don't even mention it, because I don't think they think about it, but it's not a bad thing. It's not, they think about learning. I'll think about hashkaf or kiruv, different people. Hashem created the world 5,784 years ago? 6. Wow, I'm way off. 86 years ago. I'm behind schedule. $8. Yeah, very good. 4. So, I want to tell you, we know as Jews that Hashem created this world that amount of time ago. That's what we're taught in Judaism, right? And we know that. That's what we know as Jews. But in reality, we know that Hashem existed forever. Whatever that means, I'm not going to go there. But let's just use a number of trillions and trillions of years. It's very fascinating, this. I want you to hear this. And all of a sudden, after trillions of years, kaviyachal, I know it's infinite, but kaviyachal, trillions and trillions and trillions of years, Hashem all of a sudden said, you know what, I'm going to make a world. I'm going to make a world. I'm bored. I've been here for so long. I've been here for trillions, infinite amount of years. I want to make a world. I want to make a world. And this world that I'm going to make, I'm going to create little people that are the size of, I don't even know, like nothing. We almost don't exist. That's the truth. In the big picture, compared to the greatness of Hashem, we don't exist. And he says, I'm going to create these people, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them a gift called my Torah. I'm going to give them the Torah, a gift that I had hidden for 6,000 years before. I don't know what that means even. And I'm going to give it to them, and they're going to serve me, and they're going to daven to me, and I'm going to love it. So I have some news for you. I want to tell you something very powerful. No one's going to tell you this. I know no one's going to tell you this, but I don't mind telling it to you. Hashem does not need our davening. I'm telling you right now. Rosh Hashanah, when we go to shul on Rosh Hashanah, you think Hashem needs you to make him the king? Think about this. You're the king, you're the king, you're the king. We're not even a mashahu. We're nothing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a way. Now, you'll hear the ending of this. Hashem doesn't need your tefillas. Hashem wants your tefillas. So let me tell you the difference between the two. Hashem doesn't need little things that he created to say, you're the king, you're the king, you're the king, you're the king. He knows he's the king. What are you waking him up something he doesn't know? The answer is, we can't understand this, but Hashem wants to be what's called a meitiv. And a meitiv means Hashem, for whatever reason, this I can't explain, I don't know. He wants to give, and he wants to give, and he wants his creation to be happy. That I believe. So what does he do? He says, you know what I have to do? I have to give the Jewish people laws, because if they follow these laws, it means they earned the reward I'm going to give them. And why he wants that, I don't have an answer completely for that, why he wants that. But he wants to be good to everyone in the world. He wants to be good to all of you. But he says like this, if you come to me on Rosh Hashanah and you make me the melech, you make me the king, and you keep saying, you're the king, you're the king, you're the king, you're the king, you know what that means? That means if he's the king, what are we? We're his subjects. And if we are his subjects, what does a subject have to do? Listen to the king. When you listen to the king, what can the king do for you? He can reward you. So Hashem forces us in a way, because he loves us, like that father that forces, or to make us realize that you're not going to maybe do it on your own. So I'm going to force you to come different times of the year to do different things so that you could get close to me. You get close to me, you do what I want, I can reward you. So like the Mesilas Yesharim says, the Eibishter wants lehenos meziv shchinasa. He wants, this I don't know, again, I don't know everything obviously, but we do know he wants to be good to us, he wants us to enjoy his presence, but he sometimes has to force us. You know, Shabbos, if somebody doesn't keep Shabbos, the punishment of certain mitzvos or non-doing certain mitzvos or going against it are greater in certain things. Some of them are Misa, some of them are Malchus, some of them death, some of the... Why did Hashem give you these punishments? Not because he wants to hurt you, because if you know the punishment of this is so great, you might not do it. And if you don't do it and you follow what he says, he can reward you again. In other words, everything that we have in the Torah, everything we have in Judaism is for one reason and one reason only, is that Hashem wants us to earn the reward. He wants us to get close to him. We get close to him. We could benefit. He's happy. I don't have an answer why he's happy, but that's what I do know. So mitzvahs, and every time that you stop yourself from eating, let's say, not kosher, every time you control yourself, you're making Hashem happy, but in essence, you're only making him happy because he wants to reward you for the good that you do. So I know this is not the speech that Rabbi Pinchas Weinberger had in mind, but I want to leave you with one thing I told Rabbi Weinberger, a very powerful thing. There was a bacher in a yeshiva that was davening a very long davening. And I don't know what long davening means. I'm sure in Europe, a longer davening is a lot longer than you think. I'm not sure. But he's having a long davening. And he saw, Chazaq noticed this bacher was doing this for a long time. Then he was davening long, Shemoneh Esrei. And Chazaq walked over to him after a few days and told him like this. Chazaq Levenstein was the mashgiach in the Meir Yeshiva, and then in Ponevezh. And he said to him, he says, I love the way you're davening, and I'm very impressed. But I just want to make sure one thing, that in your davening, at least have a little bit of the Rebbeinu Shalom in your davening. Now, what does he mean by that? A person could go through life learning, wearing tzitzis, doing mitzvahs, going to yeshiva, going to daf yomi, having to go to Shana to a long davening, Yom Kippur, oh my God, long davening. And he can actually do it and actually be happy, but he could lose the most important element, which is that there's Hashem in this world, and Hashem, you get close to Hashem when you do this, but when you do it, understand that you're doing it for the right reasons. Understand why you're doing it. Because that makes your doing it even a greater enjoyment. It makes you actually get close to the reason why you're doing it. The reason why you're doing it. And then you get close to the person that gave you the joy that because you did it. So when you have a joy from following certain mitzvos, you're going to get close to the person that gave you those mitzvos because he gave you the opportunity to enjoy. So you automatically get close. So I just want to tell you something. I know I make a lot of jokes, and I usually do. But I just felt, like I said, I told you, this boy changed me a lot. He really did. And it made me wake up to realize whether there was an October 7th or whether Chayalim are doing this. And I love them all. And Chas v'Shalom, Hashem should be watch over all of Klal Yisrael. And every Yid is important. Every Yid is holy. But you also can't forget about yourself, too. You can't forget about yourself, too. You're so busy thinking about other people, you're forgetting about your own mission, your own spirituality. I was in Eretz Yisrael twice in the last 2.5 months. And you know what? I did stay in the Citadel. I did. This guy's a wealthy kid. His mother asked me, he says, how much money should I give you spending money? I'm sure if I needed $100,000, believe me. She even offered me something to pay a certain bill. I said, the parents, I said, I don't want to take any money. And I still don't take any money. Because I don't want my relationship with him to be tainted by money. Shaykhad. I really don't. I'm sure if I'm in the street, maybe I would think twice about it. Imagine I come home and I'm missing, actually, I'm out of my house. But I will tell you that I actually, mamish, realized that, I was in the Citadel twice, I was telling you, for a week and a half. I left. I normally don't miss yeshiva. I was there for a week and a half, and they set me up beautifully. I went in business class. It's a big difference, by the way. Yes. Have you ever gone business class? Never? Has anyone ever gone business class to Israel? Wow, your own private jet, only private jet. Anyway, I will tell you that once you do that, you can't even go back to a regular seat. And I want to tell you, and all I kept remembering when I was there, and this is the truth, I kept sitting there in this big place to eat, and I saw Makom HaMikdash, which was right there. Right there, the Makom HaMikdash is. You can see literally the walls, you don't see the wall, you see the walls of the outside. I'm thinking to myself, here we are sitting in hotels, fressing, ignoring, like we're seeing it to our own eyes. And we're not getting the picture. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be happy, doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy, but you got to think a little bit. So my point to you is, I am telling you, it's a big honor that I'm here, because I look around here, and I see mamish great kids. I'm telling you now, this is amazing. I'm telling you the truth. I look at your faces, and I see people that are connected, people that want to grow, and I give credit to the Rabbeim, like I said, and I told you, it's a big honor to be here. It really is. I normally do not miss I always make sure that I give my share. And I will tell you that I gave it up to come here because I get chizuk. I get chizuk when I come here. I really do. I'm looking around. Look how quiet it is. You know what? Honestly, a lot of times it's not even quiet. And you know what? You guys are growing and you guys are special. But I want you to understand, to develop a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It sounds like it's not cool. It sounds like it's not with it to some of you. But the closer you get, the more you realize that tree, the Eitz Chaim, is your sustenance. The closer you'll get, the more Hashem will reward you. And I thank you. I'm sorry that I'm so serious today, but I'm on a journey myself. And I will tell you, Baruch Hashem, I haven't had a bad day, believe I know, in the last 6 months. Not because I haven't had a bad day, because I never looked at it as a bad day. Because I know everything's a challenge, and everything is something that Hashem is sending your way to see if you'll handle it correctly. And the last word I always tell my students, it's called ride the wave. Now, what does ride the wave mean? A wave sometimes is bigger than other waves. There's different types of waves, tidal waves, and this waves. And the surfers usually a good surfer wants the more challenging wave. He'll actually look and see when is the best time the waves are coming in, and then he gets on his surfboard, and his job is to stay on that surfboard. And the waves are taking him in all different directions. And sometimes he falls, but his goal is to get back on, find the wave, and get back. No, find the wave, not run away. Find the wave and get back on it. In life is a wave. Life's a tidal wave sometimes. In life, we go through a lot of things in our life. And our job is to somehow stay as long as we can on that surfboard. In life, we're going to be faced with challenges. Ride the wave. Understand that everything Hashem does is for your best. And Hashem sends us challenges because He knows we can grow from them and we can get closer. Have a wonderful Shabbos, all of you.